Okay, so we are now on part 2 of this afternoon's online session of the first ever EVO TV. I've talked about our first ever speaker. He's one of our group leaders. He's called James Short, and he's very kindly found some time both yesterday, prior to the Prime Minister's announcement, to offer EVO a bit of a steer during these uncertain times. But he's also found some time later on this afternoon to have a little fireside chat for 5 minutes or so with me. I've asked James, I've not prepared any questions with him, but I wanted to talk about the EVO community and what sort of advice James would offer to both the members and also the EVO leadership themselves. So hello there, James. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you very much, Jamie, for inviting me. And I think what you're doing is extremely important at this very difficult time that we're all facing. And the idea of coming up with keeping the EVO community together and working together is very important for us all, because this is probably going to go on for weeks, if not months, certainly months. And if we remember that our main aim is to keep all our businesses going, after all, we need to pay the bills. There are experts within the EVO community that can help us do that. So if ever there was a time when we need to work on our business, not just in it, now is that time.
Yes.
And the way I see it is essentially we have two options. One is the business miracle, and here's a mantra that I have said and will say again. If you do today what you did yesterday, you cannot expect a different result tomorrow. And it just will not happen. Or else what you can do is manage the future. And by that I mean you have to set some goals, decide on your objectives, create a plan to deliver those objectives, and then roll them out. And that is the difficult part. But within the EVO community, there are a lot of experts who can help. And I believe that if we all stay together as a team, we can help each other operate successfully to get through this very difficult weeks and months ahead of us. So that's really what I mean, I'm no business expert, but that's the advice that I would offer at this particular moment.
Well, again, thank you, James, and I beg to differ, and I know you ran your own company called Augmenta for 16 or 17 years. You're being typically self-effacing there. I think that advice is powerful. I mean, yesterday when we met, we talked about the spirit of community. I know there's a lot of stuff on the news about it, and there's a little bit of uncertainty still, if not a lot, about the small to medium business sizes and what support they're going to have. And it does feel to me at the moment, anyway, and I'm not political as you know, that because of the rapidity of the decisions and the crisis, there's almost no steer for business. I know you're a navigator, a salesman, a yachtsman, and I don't want to use this glibly, if that's the right parlance, but it feels to me that we are in uncharted waters. In your experience, James, in both business and leadership in the military, is that a correct definition of where we're currently at? Uncharted waters?
Well, I think that's absolutely right. But remember that the most important mantra of a sailor is that a sailor without a destination cannot hope for a following wind. So we absolutely do need to plan ahead now as much as we can do in order to get the favourable conditions, making the best out of what is undoubtedly going to be a very difficult time for us all. And that's why, again, I commend you on this initiative of setting up the EVO community to keep and continue communicating with each other to help each other through the difficult times. Because as I said just a moment ago, there is expertise there that can help, and I'm sure we'll be only too happy to help.
Great. It was a week or so ago that we set up the business club, maybe 2 weeks ago on LinkedIn, before the crisis really sort of got a footing in Europe anyway. And it feels apt that community is now there. I looked online, 20 people, other members have just joined this afternoon. I do think, I like your idea about us all digging in together to create a favourable outcome for the whole community. When we met yesterday, if you don't mind me sharing, you said this was, you know, we were, not to use your words, but we were in a pretty sticky wicket at the moment, and maybe it's several months or so away before we can return to normal. I mean, I hope we can. Is there any sort of last sort of advice that you could offer to SMEs, i.e. the majority of our membership, to give them some strength? I know that you've been in challenging situations in the past. Is that you're a man of mottos and so forth? Is there anything you could give us which would give us some, to be frank, some strength during this period of great uncertainty?
I think the most important thing is to stay positive. I mean, we are going to come out of this at the end, and we will bounce back. Of that I'm absolutely sure, because we've been doing it for centuries, and we as Brits are particularly good at doing that. But of course, no man is an island, and you don't do this by yourself. And certainly in my business life, where I was required to lead teams, the ability to have a team around you is a great comfort when things start getting extremely difficult. And I think in creating the EVO community, we have a team which we can all deploy our various skills and talents and resources to help each other through these very difficult times that are approaching.
Great. So key takeaway for me there is helping each other during these challenging times ahead. James, thank you very much for joining us all this afternoon on this first ever EVO TV cast, as it were. We'll be looking at doing some live things soon. I look forward to catching up with you, mate. And can I just ask on behalf of the members, how are you? I know you're not too far away in Portishead. How are you faring at the moment?
For me personally, I'm back on my bicycle. Now that my crutches have gone, it's situation back to as it was before. And let's get fit, stay fit, keep fit, and enjoy life.
That's
as
the
well
spirit.
as helping people at work.
Good stuff. James, thank you on behalf of me, the leaders, and obviously the members who are now at home or in the office. And look forward to checking with you again soon. Have a great afternoon, and look forward to seeing you soon. Take care, James.
Thanks,
Great.
Jamie. Well done.
Thank you, mate. So that's it for the first ever EVO TV. Look out for an email shortly about the next episode. We hope it will be a fully live and interaction version. If you've enjoyed today, or if there's further questions you've got about the format moving forward for the next few months, please, as members, contribute down below. And also, if you've got something you can help members with, some advice, some blogs, some PDFs, and please post them. We've got to bring all the collective wisdom together from James, the other leaders, and of course, most importantly, the members. So that's it from me and James. Look forward to seeing you again soon, and stay positive, as James would say. Thank you. Great, thank you very much, James. I'm just going to turn the video camera off.